Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to Nine Nar Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. The Fourth Intelligence Revolution, The Future of Espionage, and the Battle to Save America by Anthony Vinci examines how intelligence work is being reshaped by fast-moving technology, shifting geopolitics, and new types of adversaries. Framed as a new revolution in intelligence, the book focuses on how traditional spycraft and national security institutions are colliding with artificial intelligence, cyber operations, ubiquitous sensors, and the data economy. Vinci highlights how the United States faces pressure not only from rival states, but also from networked actors, commercial platforms, and rapid innovation cycles that outpace government processes. The book aims to clarify what is changing in espionage, what enduring principles still matter, and what risks emerge when secrecy, speed, and scale combine. It also explores how intelligence failures can arise from organizational culture and incentives, not just missing information. Overall, the work positions intelligence modernization as both a technical challenge and a strategic, ethical, and civic one tied to democratic resilience. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, from human sources to machine-scale collection, a central theme is the shift from traditional collection methods to intelligence built on machine-scale data. Vinci contrasts classic espionage strengths such as human judgment, recruiting sources, and clandestine tradecraft with a world saturated by digital exhaust from phones, apps, cloud services, and connected devices. In this environment, collection is less about gaining access to a single guarded secret and more about assembling signals from many places and spotting patterns faster than an adversary. The book emphasizes that more data does not automatically create better insight. It introduces the practical problem of turning massive, noisy inputs into decision-relevant knowledge, and it points to the growing importance of data engineering, analytic pipelines, and interoperability across agencies. It also highlights how commercial technology firms, data brokers, and open sources can become intelligence assets or vulnerabilities. The topic underscores a strategic trade-off. Machine-scale collection can increase speed and coverage, but it can also encourage overconfidence, create blind spots when data is missing or manipulated, and reduce attention to the intent and context that human sources often provide. The revolution, as presented, is not replacing spies with algorithms, but redefining how the two must work together. Secondly, artificial intelligence as an intelligence multiplier and a new attack surface. Vinci treats artificial intelligence as both a tool that can elevate intelligence performance and a capability that adversaries can weaponize. On the enabling side, AI can accelerate triage of incoming information, detect anomalies, translate and summarize at scale, and support predictive assessments when time is limited. The book frames these gains as a force multiplier for analysts facing information overload, while cautioning that automation can bake in bias, hide uncertainty, and produce plausible but wrong outputs. On the offensive and counterintelligence side, AI increases the risk of deception through deepfakes, synthetic personas, and automated influence campaigns that can pollute collection streams and distort public discourse. It also expands the attack surface by making models, training data, and deployment infrastructure targets for theft, tampering, and manipulation. A key point is that AI changes not only what intelligence agencies can do, but how quickly adversaries can iterate. This compresses decision cycles and raises the premium on verification, provenance tracking, and red teaming. The book argues for disciplined governance of AI tools, clear thresholds for human review, and operational practices that treat algorithmic outputs as inputs to reasoning rather than substitutes for judgment. Thirdly, the cyber and information battlespace as everyday terrain. Another important topic is the normalization of cyber operations and information conflict as persistent conditions rather than rare crises. Vinci describes how espionage now routinely occurs through network intrusions, supply chain compromises, credential theft, and exploitation of widely used software. This persistent contest blurs lines between intelligence collection, preparation of the battlefield, and coercive signaling. The book also connects cyber activity to influence operations, where stolen data, manipulated narratives, and targeted messaging can shape politics, markets, and alliances. In this landscape, defending the nation involves more than classified networks. It includes critical infrastructure, private sector platforms, and the social systems that adversaries try to polarize. The author stresses that speed and scale favor attackers, while defenders face coordination challenges across agencies, companies, and jurisdictions. The discussion highlights the need for improved attribution methods, better public-private collaboration, and strategic communication that can expose hostile activity without compromising sources and methods. Importantly, the book positions resilience as an intelligence objective, the ability to absorb attacks, recover quickly, and reduce systemic fragility so adversaries gain less leverage from each intrusion or disinformation push. Fourthly, institutional reform, culture, and the problem of bureaucratic lag. Vinci focuses on how institutions can struggle to adapt when technology and threats evolve faster than procurement cycles, security rules, and organizational habits. He highlights bureaucratic lag as a national security risk. Even accurate intelligence can arrive too late or be delivered in a form that decision-makers cannot act on. This topic explores why modernization is not merely buying new tools. It requires changing incentives, improving talent pipelines, and building cross-functional teams that combine operators, analysts, engineers, and legal experts. The book points to challenges such as stovepipe data, classification barriers that block collaboration, and risk aversion that discourages experimentation. It also suggests that leadership must cultivate a culture that rewards learning, accepts controlled failure, and measures outcomes rather than process compliance. Another dimension is oversight and legitimacy. Intelligence agencies operate with extraordinary powers, so reforms must consider transparency mechanisms, auditing, and clear rules that protect civil liberties while enabling mission effectiveness. The author frames successful reform as a balancing act: maintain secrecy where necessary, but reduce internal friction so the system can respond rapidly to emerging threats and opportunities in a competitive, technology-driven era. Lastly, strategic competition and the future of American security. The book links intelligence transformation to broader strategic competition, arguing that the future of espionage cannot be separated from how the United States competes, deters, and reassures allies. Vinci examines how rival states and sophisticated non-state actors exploit openness, interconnected markets, and divided information ecosystems. He stresses that intelligence must support strategy, not just collect secrets. That includes anticipating adversary goals, assessing technological trajectories, and understanding how economic power, talent, and supply chains influence national strength. The topic also addresses the dilemma of democratic societies. Openness fuels innovation and legitimacy, but it also creates vulnerabilities that closed systems can exploit. The book suggests that the battle to save America is partly about rebuilding strategic coherence across government and society, ensuring that intelligence informs policy without becoming politicized. It emphasizes prioritization, because agencies cannot collect everything or prevent every attack. Instead, they must decide what matters most, align resources with critical risks, and communicate uncertainty clearly to leaders. Ultimately, the future described is one where intelligence success depends on integrating technology, tradecraft, alliances, and civic resilience into a coherent national approach. In conclusion, this book suits readers who want a practical, policy-oriented view of how espionage is changing, including national security professionals, students of intelligence and international relations, technology leaders who intersect with government, and informed citizens concerned about democratic resilience. It can benefit a reader by clarifying why intelligence today is as much about data, systems, and institutional design as it is about spies in the field. By mapping how AI, cyber conflict, and influence operations interact, the book helps readers recognize how threats move across public and private domains and why coordination and trust matter. It also encourages a mindset shift from seeking perfect prediction to building faster learning loops, better verification, and stronger societal resilience. Compared with similar books that focus narrowly on either technology hype or historical spy stories, Vinci aims to connect tools, tradecraft, and strategy into a single argument about national survival and reform. The emphasis on organizational incentives, oversight, and decision-making makes the book useful beyond technical audiences, offering a framework for thinking about modernization without ignoring civil liberties. For buyers looking for a forward-looking synthesis rather than a single-issue deep dive, it is a compelling addition to an intelligence and security library. If you would like to support Anthony Vinci, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.